Hello, my name is Nadine. I will guide you through the next 20 minutes of your practice. In this series, we would like to focus more on stability. So usually if you're coming from an athletic background, you would apply this practice more in an off-season setting rather than when you're training quite intensely. So a block could be useful. You don't have to use it. You could be using it. Just make sure you're not overexerting yourself. So find a balance within you, just going to a point where you feel still comfortable doing poses. We will be starting our practice on our backs. So just find your way on your back. If there are ladies with the hairband, just make sure there's the hair bit nice and loose so there won't be any pressure in the back of your head. And I just want you to lift the tailbone slightly so you have an ease in the lower back. And then walk your feet towards the edges, let the knees drop together so that's quite supported. And then place your hands on your belly and the one hand a bit above, a bit towards your chest. And just close your eyes for a moment for us to settle in and prepare body and mind for the practice. I want you to feel on your inhale through your nose how you expand your belly, your ribs and your chest. On your exhale, either through the nose or the mouth, release the belly back down. Inhale, feel the expansion through the belly. And then exhale, empty out. Inhale. And then exhale, empty out. Release your hands on the side. If you had your eyes closed, you can open the eyes. Walk your feet. So release the knees and then walk your feet closer together so they're hip width apart. So in line with your knees. And then on your inhale, just lift your arms over your head. And then on your exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, arms rise over your head. Exhale, release your arms down. We do one more, just the arms. Inhale it. Exhale, release the arms down. Now we're lifting the hips as well. So inhale, lift your hips, lift your arms over your head. And then exhale, arms release along your body down, the hips release down. Inhale, raise your hips, raise your arms. Exhale, release down. One more of those. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release down. Walk your feet even further out again towards the edges of your mat. This time the knees stay apart. Open your arms out like a T shape to the side. On an inhale, exhale, drop both knees towards the right side. Keeping that wide stance of your feet. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees drop towards the left. Inhale, knees come back to center. Exhale, knees drop towards the right, creating a length in the front of your left thigh. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees drop towards the left. Inhale, center, one more round. Exhale, knees drop towards the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees drop towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, feet walk slightly in so they return underneath your ankles and return underneath your knees. Arms come along the body. Scoop the tailbone forward. On an inhale, lift your hips up. On your exhale, full bridge pose, move those arms closer in. You can interlace your fingers underneath your buttock. And then activate the shin bones towards the front. Breathe here, the chin is away from the chest and then the chest travels towards the chin. Finding an even weight distribution and an even length in the front of the body, strengthening the back body here.
On your next exhale, release the bind of your fingers, vertebrae by vertebrae, release your spine carefully back onto the ground. Take one knee at a time into the chest and give yourself a gentle massage while you're rocking the hips from side to side. You can even take it into a circular movement, massaging the whole back. If you go for the circular movement, reverse the direction as well. Coming out of our lying position, you can either rock forward. If there's an injury with your back, I recommend just rolling to the side and then coming into an all-four position on hands and knees. So what we just did on the back, now without the support of the floor, we will create the same stability, just moving more from our midline engagement rather than working with the back muscles. Finding that line of center here, walk your right hand out towards the front, the left leg straightens back. Just tune in how your hips are aligned here, and then on an inhale, lift your left leg and lift your right arm up. On your exhale, hug knee and elbow into the chest, round the spine. Inhale, reach out. Go nice and slow, so you're keeping the hips at the same position. Exhale, bend your elbow and your knee. Inhale, long reach out. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Hug them tightly here for another full breath. And then exhale, right hand release down, left knee releases into the floor. If there's at any point you're pressing too much weight into the knee, you can always layer up the sides of your mat. We're moving straight into the other side. Left hand reaches forward, right leg straightens back. We want to avoid arching the back, so stay with your belly button engaged towards the spine. Inhale, lift your arm and your leg. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Inhale, long reach out with the hips still aligned. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Inhale, long reach out. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Tuck them tightly in. Stay here for a full breath. On your next exhale, release your left hand. Release your right knee down. Walk your hands over towards the left side, so you're coming towards the center of your mat. We're going to use the whole side of the mat. Reach the right leg out. You take your hands onto your hips. Aiming your left knee stays directly underneath your hip. The right fingers walk on top of the right thigh, the top of the right knee. This one is called so-called gate pose. Creating first a bit of room. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, walk your fingers down. Keep the extension through the hip and reach with the chest open. A full breath. On your next inhale, with control, coming up to center, and then exhale, guide with your left hand down towards the ground, keeping the knee and the hand aligned. Right hand goes onto your hip. Push the hips slightly forward so you stay fully connected through your midline. Lift your right leg up. While you're staying active with the hips forward, working the right quadricep muscle here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully release it down. Release your right fingers down, come back towards the front. Right knee moves in. Left leg straightens out. Align your left foot with your right knee. Hands go onto your hips. Hips move slightly forward. Left fingers touch. Inhale, right arm lifts up. Exhale, left fingers walk down. And then extend through the top of your hip here. Breathe. You can even gaze up if that gives you even more extension. For another full breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale with control, right hand moves down. Left hand, left hip, lift your left leg up. Move your hips forward, flex your left foot. So strong engagement through your left foot. Breathe here. You can even extend your left arm up if this is available to you. One more breath. And exhale. Left hand releases down. Coming back into that all four position on hands and knees. To release the tension here, inhale, belly drops. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, return into a neutral position of your spine. Fingers spread wide, one downward dog. Exhale, lift the knees off the floor. Reach back. Beautiful. Take a full breath here. Inhale into a plank position, shoulders above the wrist. Really push yourself away from the floor. There's no arching of the back. Exhale, knees down. And then in one line, release all the way down. If you have your head off your mat, you might want to move slightly back. So you can rest your forehead into the floor. Take your arms on the side, palms facing down. Shalabhasana. Focusing on a lift here. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, lift your legs off the floor. Strengthening the lower back muscles here. Maybe lift your hands off the floor, keeping the belly engaged towards the spine. Another full breath. And exhale, release down. You can turn your head to one side. Take a moment of rest. If you felt that was enough already for your back, please repeat this pose. If you're ready for a bit, one step further, even into the back, then take your chin back to center as well. And then reach your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, extend your arms. Same movement here, so option one, repeat the same. And then option two with the hands interlaced. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the legs. Even lift through both legs, knees off the floor. Breathe here. On your next exhale, with control, release back down. Release the bind of your fingers. Turn your head the opposite way. Just to make sure there's a nice balance in the back of your head, the back of your neck. Another full breath. Inhale, return your head back to center. Exhale, lift both, lift arms and legs off the floor and chest. One last one here, one more breath. And exhale. Release down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift your head, lift your chest, coming into that all four position. Tuck in the toes on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide. You don't have to keep the legs straight. If the knees are bent, that's totally fine. Finding more ease in the lower back. Only if it feels available, you can straighten the legs. And then reach long from the fingertips all the way into the tailbone and then down the hamstrings towards the heels. One more breath. On your next inhale, we return into our plank. And then this time, place the left hand directly underneath your left shoulder. Roll onto the outside of your left foot. Your right foot can be in front or on top of your left. Finding Vashisthasana, side plank. And then extend your right arm up. Strengthening the obliques on your left side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, release the right hand down. And then we're changing sides here. Roll onto the right side with your right wrist directly underneath your shoulder. The left foot on top or in front. On an inhale, raise your left arm up. Lift the left hip even a bit higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the left hand down. Nice. Push back into a downward facing dog for a full cycle of breath. On your exhale, release the knees towards the edges of your mat. Big toes touching. Walk yourself as much as you can back, preparing child's pose. From there, you walk your hands forward. Release your forehead into the floor, or you can always make a pillow with your hands resting your forehead. Full breath, resting pose. And then lift the head up. We're going, since we have been working also a bit on our shoulders, now we want to release that tension. So lift yourself up. Your knees can come even wider, even outside of your mat. And then the left hand goes straight ahead in front of you. On an inhale, raise your right arm up, finding that twist. On your exhale, the right arm scoops underneath your left armpit, finding that threading the needle, right shoulder, right ear into the floor. If you're quite tight and need a bit support, you can always place the block and rest your right ear or the right side of your head on the block, if that feels more at ease in your shoulder. Breathe. If you can even try it out. If it doesn't work, you don't have to. Full breath. And then the left hand returns in height of your eyes. Put a bit of pressure into that left palm, so you're helping yourself back up. The right hand moves now in front. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, scoop the left arm underneath. Left shoulder releases down. Feel free to use that block again. And then the right hand reaches in front. Relax through the left shoulder. Notice any difference between the right or the left side. And then the right hand returns in height of your eyes. Put a bit of pressure while you're coming back up. Left hand into the floor. The knees return to center. And then in all four position, hands and knees. Shoulders above your wrist. Hips above your knees. Inhale, right arm, left leg reaches up. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Nice. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Last one on the side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Release your right hand. Release your left knee down. Inhale, left arm reaches. Right leg reaches. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee and elbow into the chest. Release the left hand. Release the right knee. You can cross your ankles, roll over your feet, or just move those legs towards the right or left side. Extend your legs out in front of you. With your arms reaching forward. With control on an inhale. Exhale, release halfway down. On your next inhale, coming back up. On your exhale, go a bit lower than halfway. So you're almost touching. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, go as close as possible without touching the floor. Take a full breath here. And then on your next exhale with control, release all the way down. Remember, there shouldn't be any pressure in the back of your head. And then bend one knee at a time. Place the feet into the floor. Lift your hips, lengthen the tailbone forward. So finding the natural curve of your spine. Hug one knee into the chest. Hug the other knee into the chest. Flex both feet. On an inhale, exhale, lift your forehead and then take those arms around your knees, curling up like a tight ball for a full breath. Massaging the thyroid here, responsible for our hormone production. On an exhale, release all the way down. Straighten one leg at a time towards the edges of your mat. If there's discomfort in the lower back, you might need to bend the knees, realign the hips, and then the arms release on the side, palms facing up. Take an inhale here from your toes all the way into the crown of the head. With your exhalation, let go. Observing that heat, that radiance you created within you. And just enjoy your being here, taking care of your body and your mind. Relax your toes and your fingers. Feel a heaviness drawing you down, but an ease and softness in the breath and the mind. For the next few moments, just be. Nothing to do, nothing to be. Stay here as long as you wish. Longer is mostly even better. Bringing life back into the toes. The fingers can gently sway your head from side to side. And then roll all the way over to one side. You can bend the knees first. And just stay here for another moment, just to check in. In your own time, with your eyes closed or your gaze soft, return into a seated position. The sit bones grounded, the spine nice and long. Hands can be resting on your thighs, or if the gesture speaks to you, you're welcome to join me with the hands meeting in front of your heart. A moment to acknowledge, a moment to be proud of what your body has delivered for you today and what it does each and every day. Let's take another deep inhale together through the nose and an empty exhalation through the mouth. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.